Unlike a lot of furry awakening stories that I've heard, my furry journey actually begins in my mid-20s. I was too busy being a Pokemon-loving emo back in my teens. And the weird thing is, I didn't really know anything about furries apart from fursuiters and that one video that the internet historian did on Rainforest. So, to me, furries was just this kind of weird small group of people who like to dress as anthropomorphic animals, and I didn't really see the harm in them, so why would I look it up? The wheels on this furry train kinda began about 2.5 years ago when I started Twitch. And at this time I had the big plan of you know what, I'm gonna cosplay as medieval characters, and had this whole idea of cosplay. And I was playing Don't Starve Together, so it was basically your average startup Twitch. And that all kind of changed when maybe about a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks in, I watched Beastars. So I accidentally stumbled across this show on Netflix when I was having a really, really lousy mental health day. And it just hooked me in so much that I binged it all up until 6 AM. I was super tired. And the weird thing was it wasn't the fact that it was furry or anything like that, it was the fact that the story gripped me in so much, and I was obsessed. So much so that I began showing everybody I know this show just so I can talk to them about it. And at this stage I was playing Don't Starve Together on Twitch, and I found a mod where I got to play as Legoshi. I was so happy, I loved it. And this is when people began coming onto my Twitch channel and started calling me a furry. And I really didn't mind that. In fact, I thought it was really funny. And so much so that I decided to double down and cosplay as Legoshi live on stream. I loved it, it was so good. And I did that for maybe about a year, and that includes doing a 24-hour charity stream for Sam H. And honestly, this is kinda where it began. But after a while, I felt like it was getting kind of sore on my nose, and my nose was actually getting a bit flat. This is when I swapped over to VTubing. So about June 2021, that's when I started really identifying as a furry streamer. Albeit I was still in a lot of denial on being a furry personally. And I still didn't really look much into it apart from, oh, fluffy character. And this would all change at the start of 2022. So at the start of 2022, I actually had quite a few furries come onto my Twitch channel. And through this, I made a whole load of new furry friends. And I think this is why I have such a positive view about being a furry, because my experience comes from the furry friends rather than from the fandom. So everything that I do is all my experiences have all been oh, my friends are sharing this with me, so I can have that view that no matter what happens in the community or the fandom, whatever happens, I still have a positive experience myself. And I think it was great. And despite the fact that I started really getting excited about being a furry, it took me 6 months to develop my Fursona, which is Woofles. And how I made it, I want to save for another video and my thought process with Woofles, because I know I'm a basic bitch. But yeah, it took 6 months to do that. So about June 2022, that's when I fully accepted being a furry both on stream and personally. And since then, to the recording of this video, I've worked on I've developed the YouTube channel to become more furry. I've rechanged my name on Twitch to reflect how I feel. It felt it's more personal to me. So I must admit, I am so happy with the choices I've made with it, and I'm so glad I took that step. So that is my furry journey. And the reason I wanted to do this video was because I wanted to show that there's many ways that people kind of accidentally or deliberately fall into the furry community. I mean, I started off like being a furry as a joke, and look at me, like now I'm fully embraced in it, and I love it. So if you had a furry journey, please pop them down in the comments. I would love to hear how you guys came into the community. How are you finding it so far? And is there anything you're excited about for the future? Please pop them down in the comments. I would love to hear. And if you fancy chatting to me on Twitch, I am over on Woofles the Waffler, where I'm usually on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It'd help if I knew my own schedule. And over on Twitter, feel free to follow me there. I do a lot of like shit posts, and like I would love to see your Fursonas. If you can like at me, I would love to see them. I would love to comment on them. But more than all of that, guys, I just wanted you to know that you mattered yesterday, you matter today, and you matter tomorrow. And I hope you know that. And I love you all. Mwah!